This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. Hey, welcome to Remarkable Results Radio. It's Carm Capriotto, and as always, here advancing the aftermarket. I got to tell you, this is a show I have no idea what it's about. I do know who my guests are, and I didn't sleep all night. Tracy said, Dad, I would love to have you go into the studio at this time on this day and do a show open, and then be quiet and let us take over. Rena Rennebaum, Tracy Capriotto, I don't know, I have no clue, but I'm here based on you inviting me. So what's up?
Well, thank you for joining us. We're doing a little takeover today. And first, I do have to ask, so how much has this bothered you not knowing what we're doing and what this is about?
A little bit. I trust you and Rena. And I may be self-confident sitting here figuring, throw whatever you can at me. So I don't know.
Well, a few months ago, Rena sent me an email saying, I have an idea for a show. So Rena, did you want to say what your email kind of explained?
Yeah. So, Carm, over the years, we as industry people you come up in lots of conversations. And I don't necessarily know if you know how much you have impacted all of us, like what a positive person you have been. And I talk to so many people that say that your show changed their business, it changed their life, it makes them a better person. It is like, and Tracy, you too, now coming onto the show, it's like, you also are just phenomenal. And I don't know if you guys realize how much you impact people. And so I asked a few people to share stories and tell us what you've done for them so that you really actually know how you've impacted people.
Wow. I just don't know what to say. Inside, and Tracy knows this, I think you know this, Rena, every time I turn on the microphone, I want to make sure we do something positive so that we can change a life or three. And I do hear those stories. I don't hear them enough. I assume, based on, keeping my elbow on the rail of life and, getting the vibe and the feedback from people, hearing from coaches that say, when I come on your show, when we do panels, it helps me, it helps my business, it helps my clients. But never have I reached out for those accolades. Never have I demanded them so that it would energize me to do the next. It's just, I think, partly how I'm built. So I'm really honored for this right now. And I hope I don't get too emotional.
You might.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Wow.
So we have a video we would like to show you.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Carm, it must have been 6-7 years ago when you called me that day and talked to me about starting this podcast. You left your job in the auto parts industry and were going off and being an entrepreneur, which gave you a lot of credit. We've been friends for years, but man, when you did that takes a lot of guts. What you've done with that, it's amazing. It just seems like a lifetime ago since you called me. I remember the first podcast very well. Number 2 in the can, as you would say, and you made me and my partners feel so comfortable. And you really helped us even that day back then. We got to talk about the things that we've gone through and have been through, and everyone has hard times, and we actually talked about it. And I think that started a process of healing and moving forward, and we stopped using that as the excuse for why we weren't doing things, and we became better and better for it, and we're able to move forward and put that behind us. And from day one, you talked about people and how important they are, why you got to develop them, why that is our future. And I believe that is part of the bedrock of the programs we created in developing our team and why we've been so successful. Not just an apprenticeship. Yes, that's huge, but our career paths, the developments we do, all the training we go to. From day one, even before you started podcasting, you always told me people, people, people. And it's really made a difference to me and our organization. And you're always encouraging a positive voice, and even through hard times, you get us moving forward and get through it. Do the hard work. Things always get better. And you're such an influencer, not just in the podcast. The podcast is amazing. But I've worked with you, with Apex, just really elevating the service provider there. You were key and instrumental in them refocusing on us as an industry. And also just with like the awards, the education piece, so many things, you've made a difference. You're always giving back. You're always helping us to find our path, our journey. And I think together we have had a journey in the last 7 years. We both have elevated, we've developed, we've helped each other and helped the industry. And I have to say, we and our operations and the industry are better for it. You have been able to bring probably the most fragmented industry together. And you now have us working together, growing together. And today, I'd say we're stronger than we've ever been. You're awesome, my friend. I thank you.
Wow.
So they told me that my video had to be under 5 minutes. And Carm, we've done enough recording that that might be very hard for me, especially when I'm going to talk about how much I love Carm. So I went back and looked, and I've been on your podcast a number of times, all the way back to 2015. And that was before we even launched Shop Marketing Pros. And we had a really fun conversation about social media when we were still doing Five Stones Media. So I kind of went back down a little memory journey with you, and I just love seeing how much you've made an impact on so many people in this industry, not only shop owners, but coaches and vendors and organizations. It's just really remarkable how Brian and I were in the industry so many years ago. And now that we are re-engaged in the industry with Shop Marketing Pros, you've made a huge impact on us with just your wisdom and your friendship and your creative thinking. And I love how I've been able to be a part of, but also witness the growth of the Aftermarket Radio Network. Carm, you have made a huge impact on so many people. Keep up the amazing, great work. You're making a huge difference. We love you, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, Carm, Aaron Woods, Extra Mile Auto Care in Stillwater, Oklahoma, sir. I remember back in 2019, I had just started my auto repair shop, and I got on the Facebook ASOG group and was asking some questions about some podcasts, and a lot of folks had recommended that I check out Aftermarket Radio with the Town Hall Academy by Mr. Tracy Capriotto. And so I downloaded that and started listening to some of your podcasts and came across one about coaching. And I really thought that, could be something that I, could definitely benefit from. And one thing turned another. I was able to locate a coaching company and get involved in some of that training and aspects. And here we are sitting about 4 years later doing over $1 million in sales each year. And I oftentimes find myself thinking back to where we were a couple of years ago. And if one person were to ask me what's one of the things that you can feel like contributed directly to your success as a shop owner, and I would always come back and say, Tracy Capriotto. Love the show, love what you do for the aftermarket industry. And I know that there are tons of other shop owners out there that owe credit to you and your staff and your show that you put on week after week, that provides the industry the uplift in which we have so desperately needed for a long time. So from the bottom of my heart, I speak for several others when I say thank you for what you do for the aftermarket industry.
My conversation with Aaron is the conversation that got me to do this.
Oh, wow.
Because he specifically told me that story. he said, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. The business wasn't doing well. I listened to Carm's podcast and it said, find a coach. And so he did. And now Aaron is coaching.
I know.
In such a short amount of time. Yeah.
How cool is that?
Hey, Carm.
Oh, my God.
Just wanted to thank you for all that you've done for the industry. I remember when you came on to the scene and started doing the podcasts, and I was very interested to see where this was going to go. You have amazed me at the impact that you've been able to have in the industry, the fact that you care so much for the industry and for the people in it. I wanted to thank you for allowing me to be a part of that and to participate. Wish you the best, my friend.
Hey, Carm. Just wanted to do a quick video just to thank you for all that you've done. Obviously, you wanted me to come on to a number of your podcasts and talk about accounting. Who would have ever thought that anyone would be interested in that? But you've always shown a real interest. You always ask the right questions. You're universally loved because of all that you do. So just want to say thank you for that, sharing your wisdom, sharing your time, sharing your experience. And it's just been incredible to be part of. So thanks again. Have a great day.
Hey, Carm. Matt here. I had this idea for a really teary-eyed thank you, but I ran out of Vicks. I have to miss out on the tears. There's a lot to thank you for. For one, being you. Two, starting the Remarkable Results Radio podcast. It was really the first one of its kind, and gave us something to look forward to listening to and learning, sometimes more than one thing. So you kind of undersold it. And then the Aftermarket Radio Network, having me on and giving me a chance to, get my voice out there, get my ideas out there. And you were always interested in them and would listen to them and process them. And also just honestly, thank you for being a really good friend, a confidant, somebody to bounce ideas off of. That means the most. Picking up another friend as good as you, can't have enough of those. I figured it might, due to environment, growing up, might, kind of trickle down to Tracy, but I think it's a lost cause. So I was trying to give her a shot, benefit of the doubt. You tried. But yeah, seriously, just kidding. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for being a really good friend. Thank you for raising Tracy, who's become also a confidant and helping with the podcast and the great editing, stuff like that. So until next time, sir.
This is Tim with Level 6, and I wanted to say a few nice things about Carm. Such a great guy, caring. He loves this automotive industry. He and his podcast are such a pillar to the automotive aftermarket community. He really cares about the industry, and he's such a fantastic guy to work with. We had a little meeting after the last podcast I did with him, and it was really cool because, he hit on a lot of cool things with like the Clifton strengths test and how it touched him and how it changed his life quite a bit. And I thought it was very cool of him to bring that to the table. It was always fun catching up with him. Kansas City Vision, just a really good guy. And I really love listening to his podcast. There's always great information. And I think all shop owners like myself need to take advantage of any information we can out there. And if it weren't for him, we'd be missing a lot. And he really brings a lot of information to the table. And Carm, nice work, man, with this industry. You're doing fantastic things. And I always look forward to listening to your Remarkable Results podcast.
Hey, Carm, I just wanted to thank you for everything that you do. You gave the industry a voice that it needed so bad at the perfect time when it needed it the most. You have brought together so many people and made it so much easier for shop owners to be able to run a business the way that it should be run, to be profitable, to provide for their families. I have had so many people come up to me over the years, and the topic will come up about your podcast, and they will make the point that if it was not for your podcast, that they would not still be in business. So great job. thanks so much for what you're doing.
Hey, Carm. I wanted to take just a minute to share my heart with you and the other listeners, of course, that are likely getting to hear this. I want to say thank you for having a dream and a vision not that many years ago when you put together Remarkable Results Radio and, of course, all the trickle-down podcasts and webinars and shows that you're doing now. It started, I'm sure, here as a dream, as a vision. And little did you know, I'm sure that dream and that vision would impact so many thousands of individuals. I can say confidently that I'm one of many who have reaped the benefits of your passion to be the uniter of persons, the collector of knowledge, and the glue that holds much of this industry together. I wholeheartedly believe that shops wouldn't be as successful had you not done what you've done. I can tell everybody here that I wouldn't be the coach and consultant and trainer that I am had you not seen within me wisdom and knowledge that I can just pour out to the rest of our community, the rest of our automotive aftermarket industry. Carm, I want to thank you. And to those who are watching who haven't had the opportunity or have not yet really dug into the chronicles, the database of information, I would encourage you, take some time, dig out an episode a week, start there, and reinvest in yourself, reinvest in your crew, your team members, reinvest in your clients, and do exactly what Carm did. He invested and he gave back. In fact, I said this years and years ago. I said that Carm Capriotto has done more for the automotive aftermarket industry than Wilfred Brimley has done for Quaker Oats and for diabetes combined. And it's funny, but I tell you what, guys, it's true. So Carm, thank you. Thank you for all you've done for us. And to everybody else out there, eat your dang oatmeal. It's good for you. God bless. Have a great day.
So, hey, Carm, just thinking about doing this is making me cry. So we're both going to be ugly crying here a little bit. It's good that we don't have any mascara. I just wanted to thank you for everything you've meant to the industry. Shit. And what you've meant to me and my business over the last several years. I can't believe how much we've grown together. I don't think I could get across how much you mean to me. Thank you so much for that. I just wish that as a shop owner 15 years ago, I would have had your products and you'd have been out there for me to listen to. I would have got a lot out of it. Have a great day.
Thanks, Carm, for all you've done for the industry. You've allowed us all to share our ideas, our thoughts, our processes, our good times and our bad times. We've had laughs with you. We've even cried with you. We just want to say thank you for all you've done. You really have been great for this industry. You've really brought us together over these years, and we just want to say thank you.
Hi, Carm. I wanted to thank you for all that you do for our industry. I also wanted to thank you for what you've done for me personally. I can tell you that every time that I have been on your show, I have received friend requests. I've received LinkedIn connections, emails, text messages. It has definitely grown my business by being able to be on your show. So not only do I get to, learn and interact with other people that are in the industry, but I also get to grow my business and have fun on your show while I'm doing it. So I wanted to say thank you again, because you do so much and you are just one of the greatest people. You do such an amazing job at hosting and caring for everyone that you host, and also just the impact that you've had on the independent community has been huge. So thank you for giving us all that you've given us. And like I said, I can only talk about what you have done for me, but I can tell you that I know that Empowered Advisor has had significant growth because I had the ability to be on your show. So thank you for that. Thank you for being so kind. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, that's for sure. I've loved every time I've gotten to see you and spend time with you. So from everybody that has been on your show, I'm going to speak for all of us. We love you so much, and we just think that you're the best. Thanks, Carm.
Well, hello there, C Squared, Mr. Capriotto. I've been asked to say something about the 7 years that we've known each other, and going back all the way back to the single digits and the double digits of the shows. Here we are 1,000 episodes later, and you're on, I think, just about every day there's a show or something going on. You've got the network going on with Chris and with Matt and Kim and Brian and Hunt. How far you've come, my friend. You remember you started off with listen and learn just one thing. Well, my goodness, have we learned a bunch of one things over the years? I'm eternally grateful, eternally indebted to you for all of the folks that you've brought into my life, all the shop owners and all of the industry professionals, all the connections that I've made over the years as a result of you being that intersection, that industry intersection for me and for countless other shop owners around the country. So congratulations on how far you've come, and so many blessings coming your way. And then you've got Tracy waiting in the wings. At some point in time, I imagine she'll be scooting you out, kind of like with Nick doing with me here. Maybe we'll meet up in Florida at some point. Anyway, much congratulations, and here's to many more great episodes in years to come. I know you've got a lot more gas in that tank, and certainly so do I. So I just can't wait to see where you go with all of this stuff. The only thing left to debate here is whether you're twice as handsome as Phil Donahue with half of Oprah's money, or whether you're half as handsome as Phil Donahue and twice Oprah's money. That's what we've got to figure out. You'll have to answer that at some point on one of the episodes. I love you, big brother. And here's to more of the same, just continued health and prosperity along the way. The sponsors that are sponsoring your show should be jumping for joy every day for being associated with your brand. Anyway, continued success, my friend. Take care.
I don't know what to say.
Well, Rena, I want to thank you especially for pulling this together, having the idea, and being on with me today. Because, Carm always focuses importantly on the guests of his podcast, and he never really takes the time to explain about his opinion or just some of his past experiences. And that's something that within, I would say, the last 9 months, we've been working on that. Yes, more people want to hear what you have to say. And, you've had so much experience in the automotive industry, and you're an important figure. And I've been able to hear firsthand at conferences and events, people saying, Carm, you've changed my business and you've changed my life. So I am very grateful to be a part of this automotive aftermarket. I've met so many people, and I just consider myself very lucky. And I think we make a good team.
Yes, we do. Well, thanks for this.
Thank you for all that you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, when I look back at Dwayne being on episode 2 with Kim going back to 2015 with great new friend Aaron Woods, and to see Cecil on there with his new hat. Oh, my. And then Tim Schaefer, people don't really realize, and I think Tim brought it up, the time we spend after the recorder gets turned off, which is always precious. And Brian Walker, Clint White, I'll never forget him talking about the Wilford Brimley thing a while back. And, it blew me over. And he brought up a really cool new word called chronicles, which we may have to use, Tracy, because I loved it. Carm's Chronicles. And of course, Chris Cloutier. I mean, there was one thing Chris failed to mention that we sang together, probably did some karaoke. Did he do it with you once, Trace?
ASTE, Backstreet Boys. That's my go-to. So, yeah, and it was great because Chris is such a fantastic singer and stage performer. I'm just his backup. So it really worked out.
And of course, you, Rena, for this incredible idea to motivate this. I'm not sure who recorded all this stuff, but I know it had to take a whole lot of time. Been to your home. I'll never forget the vistas of being on your, we recorded this really cool avocado episode and how we related it. The funny story is we're driving to your place after having been, in San Diego with the elite group. And we go, and on the whole way there in the Uber, how am I going to connect avocados to the industry? I didn't have a clue, and sometimes it just happens. You turn the mic on and brilliance happens. And that's really been so much a part of what's happened with me and how the magic works. And we did it. And it's something that we almost have to recycle and put out there again and let people hear Rena's discussion with me and then the post avocado thing, the nurturing of our service advisors, the nurturing of avocados. Oh man. I mean, you talk about a reach, but it worked. It worked. That was great. And thanks for Bill Nalu. I met Bill in Detroit. He was very outspoken at a seminar. My first ever, I drove to Detroit to hang out with an ASA group. Bill puts his hands up talking to the speaker, and I love some of the things he said. So he's walking out of the thing, and I bumped into him, and I says, "Hey, my name is Carm, and I have just started a podcast, and you seem like someone who has a few things to say." And I have some great stories of that time meeting Bill for the first time. And his point about, Tracy, and it's true. I think a lot of people can see that in her, and the behind the scenes is she's a pretty tough boss. I have to tell you, I come up with all these ideas and she keeps tempering me. And I say, good. Okay. She's taking a leadership role. That's good. The boss can't always win. And I'm only kidding because really she's brought that millennial perspective and outlook to what we do here. And she gives me my energy because she works just as hard as I do each and every day. And in fact, I think she's taking over some of that hard work and she's giving me more time with Ann. That's a wonderful thing. So couldn't ask for a better tribute. I don't see any major reason to celebrate this. It wasn't the, 1000th episode. It wasn't my birthday. It wasn't the anniversary of the show. But I guess that's what the surprise was all about. So I didn't have a clue when I came here into the studio today that this was going to happen. So thank you for the accolades. I'm proud of what we do, and I'm ecstatic that we've been able to change so many lives out there. And I guess I just never knew how many.
There's so many more too. It was, and honestly, Tracy has so much to do with this. We both sent out emails asking people if everyone responded, yes, we'll make a video. But Tracy did all of this. She did all the editing. She put it all together. And I just came up with an idea. Tracy brought it to fruition. And it was
That's what I do.
It was beautifully done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who reached out and submitted their videos. And I know there are so many more, but we just wanted to give you kind of a little slice.
Thank you. Thank you for this. I will treasure this. You have filled my heart.
Thanks, Carm.
And we made him cry. So
yeah. Well, and thank you for allowing us the control of your show.
Okay,
Thank you
kids.
so much,
Thanks.
Rena.
Bye.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.